So let's start. Hello, good morning, everyone. My name is Grace Huang, and so welcome to our online webinar, which aims to promote the development of the mining ecosystem. I'm the marketing manager of Bitmain and also the event hoster today. For this webinar episode, we will focusing on the adoption of hydro cooling solutions. So Bitmain has prepared an introduction behind the technology of MSpace and anti-miner hydro cooling servers. The second portion, so the second portion of the event is invite our key customers to discuss the experience, sharing the advantage of the technology. So please take a note because we will have a giveaway section at the end of the AMA discussion and also before the open question section. So first of all, let me introduce our speakers. Hu Hangkong is our head of hydro cooling. He's a designer, head designer of the hydro cooling from Bitmain, and Lin Han is the head of the marketing from Bitmain, and Marty So, and he's from Merkle Standards. He's the chief operating officer, and Todd Barrett from Merkle Standards, and he's a general manager. And Steve Edwards, Merkle Standard, he's a technical lead. And now let's Hong Kong, our design engineer, introduce our hydro cooling miner. So Hong Kong, can you take a lead to show the PPT of the hydro cooling? So Hong Kong, can you make your, yes, that would be great. Oh, I think you mute your audio, Hong Kong.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yes, perfect. Thank you.
Hello, everyone. My name is Hu Hangkong. I'm the design engineer of hydro cooling container. I'm glad to discuss hydro cooling technology with you today. Hydro cooling products have been introduced many times in various promotional activities. This time, we will share with you some design details about reliability, convenience, and easy for use. Please help
Yeah, sure.
me translate.
I can translate. No worries.
我们将原来的那个传统的冷却塔的上下分离的那种冷塔方式，改成了现在的那个标准的集装箱式的外形。
Okay, so we changed the traditional design of the container. Now this container is like 20 feet standard container, shipping container size, and it comes with the main box with the cooling tower.
这样的话就可以方便我们的一个运输，另外一个也对现场的安装非常方便。
So it's easier for transportation and on-site construction.
目前这种冷塔的方式也是得到了大家的认可。
And so far, people like the design of the container.
另外，我们在水冷集装箱的设计初期，我们就预留了多个冷却的方式。
And we prepared a few ways for cooling, for the design of the cooling tower.
就像我们在那个集装箱的后面预留了2个接口， 然后我们不但可以支持到冷却塔的冷却方式，另外还可以支持到更多的一些其他的一些冷却方式以及热回收的一些利用。
So we designed like 2 joint at the container, which you can connect, which you have a few multi ways to cooling the tower.
这样的话就方便客户因地制宜的进行一些部署，或者说采用更方便的一些散热方式进行一些散热。
So in this way, so our clients can choose different method depends on their environment to take care of the cooling issues. Hong Kong, yeah, go ahead.
OK， 大家看到这个是我们的一个水冷板设计，它的外形看起来是非常的简洁。
This is the design of our cold plate. It's a very simple and sleek design.
这样的一个设计的话，对我们产品，对我们这个冷板的一个整体的密封性，它是有非常好的一个帮助。
So this design is to ensure we have a reliable sealing.
另外，在那个冷板上，大家可以看到有很多带弹性的一些螺丝，这样可以确保我们在任何时候，我们的冷板跟芯片保持一个可靠的一个接触。
So which you can see on the top of the plate, there are a few screws, and which is better for reliable sealing.
在集装箱的里面，我们的所有的管路，包括不管是软管还是硬管，我们用的材质都是满足长期可靠性运行的。
So inside the container, the design of the container, which we always think about short term or long term, which can fulfill the customer's needs for long term reliable operations.
在控制方面的话，我们实现了当地和远程的一键开启，这样方便我们产品的一个运维。
So we have the auto temperature control in the system, which is easier for our client to operate.
同时，我们也开发了面向大客户的一个集群的控制软件。
At the same time, we developed the intelligent remote cluster monitoring, which help our customer to understand the system better.
水冷集装箱的所有的信息，几乎所有的信息都可以通过我们的远程的管理软件，进行一个实时的监控。
So you can get all the information for the hydro cooling miner like on time.
它同时也具备多个集装箱的一个监控功能。
And which you can have the multiple container information at the same time.
我这边的介绍就先到这儿，谢谢大家。
So that's the introduction of the hydro cooling miner from Hong Kong. Thank you, Hong Kong. Okay, so the next one, we're gonna go to our panel. We have some questions which answered by our speakers, which can help our clients help you understand better of hydro cooling miners. And so let's go to the first question. So the first question is, can you explain the technology behind the Bitmain's hydro cooling products? So let's go to Bitmain. Like, who want to answer these questions? Hong Kong, do you want to answer this question?
OK，比特大陆其实在 7、8年之前就开始进行了一些液冷技术的一些探索和研究。
So Bitmain started research and development of the liquid hydro technology around 7 or 8 years ago.
现在大家拿到的产品的话，里面也凝聚了公司非常多的一些经验和技术。
So the current hydro cooling products is a lot of experience and technology of the company.
尤其是在那个水冷的散热的效率，然后产品的密封性以及它的易安装性、易维护性方面，我们都有很多的一些专利和独特的设计。
So especially in the heat dissipation efficiency of the hydro cooling, product sealing, easy installation, patented and unique designs for easier maintenance. We have did a lot of research, right? So anyone want to say more?
Okay, I can answer this question. Hi everyone, I'm Lin Hai, also called me X-Mailin. I'm the head of marketing of Bitmain. I will answer this question in another way. We all know that hydro cooling technology is a relatively new technology for the crypto mining industry, but its history can be traced back to the end of the last century, and it has also been proven to be a very efficient heat dissipation technology. Take a very simple example. We all know there are a lot of hydro cooling computers and hydro cooling vehicle systems. I remember Toyota has developed a very famous hydro cooling engine system called Toyota Dynamic Force Hydro. Although hydro cooling system has a high efficiency of heat dissipation, but there are always some obstacles to its promotion due to high technical threshold and some safety requirements.
Great, thank you, Linhan. Thank you for
now,
sharing.
I still want to answer more. Based on rich mining industry experience and professional R&D team, Bitmain innovatively applies hydro cooling technology to the crypto mining industry, creating safe, efficient, and convenient hydro cooling miners and mining solutions. We provide an integrated solution of miner and container. Each container is equipped with a cooling tower at the same time, and customers can install the hydro cooling miner into the container. The cooling pipes of the miner is connected to the container, and the cooling liquid flows in from the side of the container and passing through the cooling pipes of the miner and taking away the heat of the miner, and then flows out of the container, becomes the heated coolant. And then it will flow into the cooling tower. There will be natural water in the cooling tower to spray to the coolant to cool down. When the coolant is fully cooled down, it becomes the normal temperature coolant again, and then flows into the container to continue cooling. So it recycles in the container. And this solution is proven to be safe, efficient, and stable. At the same time, we choose to use cooling pipes to connect the hydro miners, rather than directly immersing the miner into the coolant, which also effectively avoided the corrosion of the mining machine by the coolant. Here, I also want to show you a video to help you better understand the hydro cooling system. I will do a screen sharing right now.
Perfect, please. Can you share? Can you share your screen?
Wait a second. Yeah.
Concentrated hash rate performance, diverse environmental adaptability, complete hydro cooling operations, waterproof and dustproof design, further noise reduction, silent operations, hydro-cooled power supply. Installation of Antminer S19 Pro Plus Hydro in AntSpace HK3. Step 1. Connect the outlet water tube. Step 2. Connect the inlet water tube. Step 3. Open the water valves. Step 4. Connect the Ethernet cable. Step 5. Connect the power supply cable. Step 6. Go to the power distribution cabinet and flip the switch to power up Antminer S19 Pro Plus Hydro. S19 Pro Plus Hydro's performance displayed through Ant Sentry management system. Together with AntSpace, an all-in-one hydro cooling solution, houses up to 210 Antminer hydro cooling units, mined during every season of the year.
That's all. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing. And thank you for explaining the details of the detailed technology of the hydro cooling products, which is quite cool. Thank you, Hong Kong and Linhan. Let's go to our second question, which is what kind of coolant is used for hydro cooling operations? So how does this ensure efficiency during operations? So, so Merkle, Bitmain, who want to answer the questions?
Oh, we can take that question.
Marty,
thanks so much for
Mm-hmm.
thank you very much for inviting us to be part of this webinar. We have a 23 megawatt site up here in Washington State where we've been deploying your hydro products, and we've been really happy with it so far. It's been a fun technology to deploy. So I'm going to introduce my general manager, Todd Barron, and my technical lead, Steve Edwards. So I'll kick this question over to Todd for the makeup water that we use, and he can discuss both our closed loop and our open loop system. Go ahead, Todd.
Please, Todd.
Good morning. Happy to be here. Like Monty just mentioned, there is a closed loop. That closed loop, it only passes through the miners themselves and the distribution system, and it's not exposed to the outside air. That is made up of 50% water and 50% propylene glycol, which is a antifreeze coolant, and it provides also corrosion protection and other properties, and a very efficient heat transfer medium. And then the other side, the open side, is just plain water, which is only treated for to prevent biological growth or corrosion and those things, but that evaporates and allows us to get just a little bit more cooling performance when needed at the higher temperatures.
Thank you for the answer, Todd. What about Bitmain? Hong Kong, you are the head of the design of the hydro cooling. Do you want to share some details of the cooler?
好的，那个就像刚才说的一样，就是我们在不同地方，我们要选用不同的一些那个冷却液。
Okay, so the choice of coolant in the hydro cooling miner is determined by the climate conditions of the environment where the product is located.
在没有结冻的地区的话，我们可以选择纯净水来作为我们的冷却液。
So if there is no risk of freezing at all, the just pure water or just pure water or tap water can be selected as the coolant.
在那个它有结冻风险的地方的话，我们建议还是选择跟当地环境比较适配的防冻液作为冷却液。
So if there is a risk of freezing, you need to choose a suitable antifreeze as the coolant according to the local temperature.
另外防冻液在防冻液选择的时候，它的质量也是非常关键。这样的话，我们选择有质量保障的防冻液的话，可以确保我们在防冻、在抗菌还有防腐这些方面可以做到长期的一个稳定。
So it's recommended to choose a quality product for antifreeze, so which can ensure long-term stability and reliability in antifreeze, prevent bacteria and corrosion protections.
这样可以避免因为选择了不合格的冷却液导致的频繁的维护，影响客户的收益。
Which can prevent, which can prevent the damage of the miner for our clients.
我这边就这些。
Thank you for sharing, Hong Kong. Linhan, you want to share for this answer?
No, I think the answer perfectly.
Perfect, thank you. Thank you for sharing, guys. Then let's go to third questions, which is how much space apart do the container and the cooling tower need? Does Merkle know the answer of this? Yeah, Marty, go ahead.
Yeah, Todd's got this one. He's been working on our layout and with our construction team. So go ahead,
Right.
Todd.
Todd, you want to share with us?
Yes, so the ant space with the miners in it and the cooling tower are placed 6 meters apart. And then the containers are of course about 2.5 meters each, so it's very compact.
Right, that's true. So Hong Kong, is that the right answer for the container?
是的，没错。就是说，我们的产品是由2个标准的集装箱组成的，然后2个集装箱之间的话，它的间距是2米，这就是它基本上占用的一个空间。
Okay, so the container actually is around it's a 2-part, so it's a 20 feet containers. So one is the main equipment box, and the other one is the cooling tower. The distance between the 2 boxes is around 2 meters, right?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. The first question we want to ask our Merkle team is how many % of your operations utilize hydro cooling solutions, and why did Merkle choose to buy hydro cooling miners?
Yeah, I'll take that question. So right now we have a 100 megawatt facility, and like I said, we're right at about 25%, 23 megawatts. So just under a quarter of our first build out here was hydro. We chose it because of the research that we had done, and of course because of our partnership with Bitmain, as we understood that this product was coming, and we were excited to deploy it. But based on our experience with this, we've gotten to learn the technology, how to operate it. It's very different than air-cooled mining. It's just a completely different ballgame. But that doesn't mean it's hard. It's just different. And so as we have learned how to run this product, we've been extremely impressed with it. And our plans going forward for our new sites and other areas we're developing is to use this technology. Right now, for what we're looking at, right at like 100% of our new build outs are planned to be hydro. So that's our endorsement of this technology. Is once we've gotten to learn how it works, really impressed with it, and we'll be employing it in our future sites.
Yeah, we think Merkle made the right choice to choose hydro miner for sure, and we do believe the future of hydro miners. Thank you for sharing. So the fifth question. So what benefits do hydro cooling operations have? Let's go to Bitmain first. Like Hong Kong, you want to answer this question?
OK， 更好的一个散热效果呢，它往往会能带来更优的一个能效，所以说水冷在这方面有更好的一个优势。
Okay, so better heat dissipation can bring better energy efficiency, and we think hydro miner can do better on this side.
另外我们那个整个系统对它的温度进行了一个更稳定的一个控制，这样可以让产品在最优的一个工作状态下，处在一个最优的工作状态下。同时呢，集装箱呢，它是内部的是一个可控的一个温度环境，这样的话更有利于我们产品的一个长期可靠的一个运行。
So our design of the hydro miner is stable temperature, is in stable temperature control, which we believe can keep the product in the best working states. So the controllable environment state in the container is very significant and conducive to long-term stable operations.
另外，良好的一个密封性，它也会大大降低灰尘对产品的一个寿命影响。
At the same time, the sealing, the perfect sealing, the good sealing will also be greatly reduce the effect of the dust on the effect of dust on the product lifespan.
我这边就这样。
Thank you for sharing. Merkle, like so far you've been using the hydro miner. So what benefits do you think the hydro cooling operations have? You want to share with us?
Yeah, I'll take a first go at this, and then I'll pass it over to my team as well. Just from a company-wide perspective, it's stability of hash rate. We've had temperatures as high as 104 degrees this year. It's been a hot summer here in Washington State. Right. And we've just had a flat line. It's just consistent performance, very stable operations. And some of the stuff we mentioned earlier, don't need to worry about the dust, don't need to worry about the outside environment. As far as a pod solution goes, I've been in this industry for several years. I personally am not a big fan of any pods. I think, for air cooled, you need to be in a building. But for this is the first pod solution that I've really liked, just because the density and the stability of it. So I'll kick this one over to Steve Edwards, our technical lead. He's been running air-cooled machines and then the hydro machine. So Steve, could you put a finer point on this?
Yeah, sure. Steve, can you share with us your perspective?
Sure, I'll try. Monty covered it pretty well. They definitely have advantages, just like I said, in stability. They're not worried about the ambient air temperature, like the air units. They don't need special environments. So far, our startups have been smooth, and our operation has been smooth because of the cooling aspect of the water. As I learned in first aid, water cools 10 times better than air. So it's very, very efficient, and I think it'll increase the longevity of the system.
Thank you for sharing. Yeah, we that's true. Like hydro cooling, we think is more stable, and it's better for long-term, investment. Right, I agree. So, Lin Han, want to share?
Yeah, in my perspective, I think hydro cooling can effectively reduce operation and maintenance costs. First of all, hydro cooling has high efficiency of heat dissipation, and the damage rate and failure rate of the miners are relatively low. And secondly, the container hydro cooling mining solution developed by Bitmain can be better dust-proof and sealed, because it uses containers, like data centers. And then it can reduce the failure rate due to the environmental problems. And finally, the hydro cooling container is equipped with a complete set of intelligent operation and maintenance systems. With the help of this intelligent system, it can also reduce the on-site operation and maintenance personnel and the workload. Thanks.
Thanks for your Marty, you want to share? Yeah.
Yeah, I just wanted to mention, we talked about the failure rate and the machine stability. We've deployed several thousand of these machines so far, and I've deployed thousands, of machines, both Bitmain machines and other brands, over the past few years of operations. This has been the best deployment we've had so far. I've only had one computer out of the several thousand that needed a power supply being replaced. And so for me, that's quite impressive. As an operator, I'm impressed by that. And when we're talking about stability, with the air-cooled machine, there's a temperature swing from hot to cold every day, from the coldest point of the day to the hottest point of the day. And that just causes that chip and all the small components to swell, expand and contract like, expansion joints on a bridge. With this hydro, we have that thermal stability. And, what I've noticed, operating machines for years and years of air-cooled operating is the machines will start to break down after a few years because they've gone through, hundreds and hundreds of those cycles of expanding and contracting with that temperature change every day. With hydro, we just have perfect flat line stability, so it doesn't put so much stress on the machines. So just wanted to add that. Thank you.
Thank you, Marty. We all know stability is a key factor for crypto mining, and thank you so much for sharing your real experience with hydro miner. Okay, let's go to the next question. So which we want to ask Merkle team is what setup requirements should you consider to start hydro cooling operations? And can you guys share some of your initial investments and the operation costs? Can you share the details with us, and also some construction process?
Yeah, the actual cost per megawatt is pretty competitive compared to any respectable, well-built air-cooled design. I think we'll approach every contractor is going to be different. Your cost is going to include the property, your construction crew, and that kind of thing. But cost per megawatt, I think ballpark, 300K per megawatt or a little bit less is is something you should aim for. Depends on, again, your construction, the type of transformers that you've selected, so forth. As far as the site and the construction process and site selection, Todd, can you talk us through that on how we've been working that for our team?
Yeah, so of course, one of your primary ongoing requirements is water, and so adequate research into the water supply to make sure that it meets the quality requirements that are listed in the Bitmain manual. That's the critical factor when you evaluate your site. The noise and essentially all the other issues that need to be considered when deploying a mine, for the most part, are actually easier for hydro. But the one critical component is the quality of water. So a suitable amount of research needs to be applied to that detail.
Thanks for sharing, Todd. Right. So let's go to the next question. Where do you see the future of hydro cooling operation going? And why is there a sudden increased interest in hydro cooling adoption? So from Bitmain team, Hong Kong, Linghan, you guys want to share?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, Hong Kong first.
OK。
Hong Kong, you can go first.
水冷在这个行业的应用现在还处在一个初级阶段，很多地方我们认为很多地方还有很大的一个提升空间。
So the application of the hydro cooling is still at a very early stage, and there is still much room for improvement in many places.
未来我们会在那个冷板跟芯片之间的一个散热效率，还有那个节能节水，以及增强产品的一个场景适应性方面，以及在拓展它在余热回收、发电等领域的一个新应用。
So in the future, we will expand new applications in the fields of waste heat recovery and power generation in the heat dissipation efficiency, energy saving, and water saving for cold plates and chips.
我们会通过我们的努力提升光伏行业的一个绿能的一个形象。我这边是这样子。
We will make our best effort to enhance the sense adaptability of the products and enhance the green energy saving in mining industry. Linghan, you want to share more with us?
Yes, we believe the hydro cooling solution will lead the direction of the entire mining industry. Before, there are so many advantages of the hydro cooling solutions, but to be honest, it was difficult to be popularized before. An important reason of that is the lack of scientific research teams and funds for the hydro cooling technologies, let alone promoting it to the public. As the world's largest mining machine manufacturer, Bitmain, it's Bitmain's responsibility to lead the industry with hydro technology to lead the industry into a better future. We're happy to invest in the research and development of hydro technology and try our best efforts to promote hydro cooling solutions to the public and lead the mining industry to a more efficient, safe, and ESG-friendly time. And also, for example, for the air cooling solutions, due to the operation of the big fans, the data centers are often noisy, and the fans will raise a lot of dust, which is not friendly to the on-site staff. So the operations of the maintenance workload is very heavy. However, hydro cooling solutions avoid these problems, improve the working environment of operation and maintenance staffs, and furthermore, it improves work efficiency. Technology makes humans live better. It's hydro cooling technology. Yes.
Thank you for sharing, Linghan. Yes, we do believe in the future of hydro miner. And Merkle, like, what's your experience? Like, do you believe? Like, what do you think about this question?
Well, just because of the stability of the operation, it makes sense on a financial level and an operational level. So, a lot of people are looking at an ROI calculator, expecting a certain amount of ROI and a performance of their machine, and they're looking for a very high percentage uptime. And I think what they're not calculating on air-cooled machines, it doesn't matter what the brand is, the downtime from cleaning with the dust that gets pulled through the fans, like you guys just mentioned, or the machine kind of self-limiting and reducing some of the hash rate when it gets hotter during the day. So just from a pure financial perspective, you have a flat line of performance. It works, and it works in all environments, day and night. It's just solid and stable. So yeah, that's why all of our sites going forward, we've come to understand this technology, and we're planning to use hydro in our large deployments going forward. And I saw my colleague Steve Edwards had his hand up. So Steve, you wanted to add something?
Yeah, please, Steve.
Yeah, back to question 7, the construction process. With the air, it didn't seem as that we had the issue, or not issue, but we had to deal with permitting. With the hydros, there's permitting that has to happen, and obviously in the States, every state is different, and I think Monty or Todd could probably talk more to it, but I just remember that that was something we had to deal with during the hydro build out.
Mm-hmm. Thank you for sharing your experience. And okay, let's go to the next question. So what are misconceptions the general public has regarding hydro cooling miner? So why do miners need to be purchased in a certain number of units within space? I think Hong Kong would be perfect to answer these technical questions. Hong Kong, you want to share with us?
OK，我想大家可能对水冷这块可能比较担心的一点就是说水冷的容易泄漏，容易出现一个故障。就像刚才说的，我们在每一个细节都会考虑如何把那个密封性做得更好。
So people may be worried at the beginning, the hydro cooling is easy to leak. And but as we just mentioned, we have considered how to make the sealing better in every detail and in our such as the design and processing of the cold plate.
比如在冷板的一些设计和加工、管路跟接头的一些材料的选型的方面，我们都会选择一些能够长期可靠使用、长期密封的一些材料。
Our development team, we did a lot of research and such as the design and the processing of the cold plate, piping, and the material of even the joint, which ensure the reliability of sealing in long-term use. Yeah, go ahead.
我们水冷矿机自身的话，它也有一定的密封性，然后有一定的防水能力。
The container itself also have very reliable sealing and water like prevent the leak function.
另外，我们在那个集装箱里面也部署了那个漏液检测绳，就是说当有系统有滴水的时候，它会主动去上报。从目前整个运行状况来看的话，我们这些措施都起到了非常好的作用。
So a leak detection sensor actually we set directly under the pipe joint of the mining machine and in the end box. So where there is a water drop leakage, it will actively report to the team. It have alarm inside.
我这边就这样，剩下的问题让那个林涵这边帮忙。
Okay, thank you for sharing, Hong Kong. Linhan, you want to share more?
Yes, sure. I want to clarify one misconception. When we sell the product to the customers, our containers and miners are sold together. You may wondering why we do this. First of all, I want to clarify that we would never force our customers to purchase both miners and containers together. The reason why we do this is that hydro cooling technology is a new technology to the market. Our customers do not have enough knowledge of these products, and many customers don't know how to build a hydro cooling data center. So we provide a together sales model of hydro container and miners, which can truly realize one-stop mining and help lower the mining threshold and promote hydro cooling solution to the public. If customers have special needs, they can contact us at any time. We are willing to provide customized service for any customers. That's all. Thanks.
Thank you for sharing. Right, that's actually we never really forced our customer to buy like certain number of miner because we do want to we think everything for our client perspective because we want to save their costs actually to build the mining site by themselves because actually Bitmain have the better technology to provide a better and more stable working environment for the mining machine. So actually we consider that we made that decision because actually for the client's perspective. So great, thank you for sharing. And the next question we want to ask Merkle. Let's go. Merkle goes first. So how are hydro cooling server designed for long-term operations, and what technologies safeguard the operations?
Yeah, just like we were discussing, it's a different product. The industry is used to air cooled, so it definitely need to approach this subject, with some expertise. It's not difficult, it's just different. And so as far as your question about the operations, kind of safety precautions that we have, the different kinds of alarms and setups, I'll put that one over to Steve Edwards because he's been helping us commission these pods and working through the commissioning process. Can you talk us through that, Steve?
Steve?
Yeah, they so the units are come equipped with a lot of different safeguards for flow, cooling pressure, cooling temperature. The miners themselves have safeguards to shut themselves down if they get too hot. There's leak detection in the box so that if any of the miners cooling starts to leak, you'll get an alarm. So there's lots of various sensors and alarms to alert you of any issue so that can be corrected quickly. So far, we haven't experienced a lot of that issue. So there could be alarms that we don't even know yet because we haven't had any issues. So, but yeah, they're well equipped to alert you in case of trouble.
Thank you for sharing, Steve. Bitmain Hong Kong 林涵 want to share more?
我这边没有。哦，这边关于这块我再补充一下，就是说从我们产品设计，从我们产品设计这块我大致补充一下。
Okay, so sure. From the product design perspective, you are perfect to explain this, please. Yes.
我们从产品设计的初期，我们就考虑到为了保障客户的初期投资，然后确保我们产品的一个长期可靠性的运行，我们在产品的寿命周期上，我们就做了一个充分的考虑。
Okay. So in the early stage of the product design, it's Bitmain's main goal to ensure the initial investment of our customer and to ensure the long-term stable operation of the miner.
另外，我们在集装箱跟矿机的设计方面，我们的所有的接口都采用了一些标准的一些接口，这样可以确保我们矿机在不断的一个迭代的过程中，我们还可以跟我们集装箱进行一个完美的一个配合。
From the design perspective, actually both the container and the miner adopt standard interface design, which can ensure after continuous updates of the miner, it can still be installed and the container still can be used for updated manner.
然后客户这边也不用担心，就是说随着我们矿机的升级，需要重复购买或者改造水冷集装箱这个问题，到目前的话，你说。
So our customer don't need to worry about repeatedly purchase or remodel the hydro cooling container with the upgrade, and with a container.
目前我们水冷矿机也升级了好几款，升级了好几代，都能很好的做到兼容。
So at present, the hydro miner has also upgraded several generation products, and all of them are all very compatible. So thank you for sharing, Hong Kong.
我这边。
Perfect. All right. So then the last question, are there any other things you want to share about hydro cooling miners and Merkle team?
Yeah, it's been a fun process to deploy this, technology at this scale for the first time. The water block technology, it's been around for a while, but what I've seen you guys is you've unbundled the data center and then you've repackaged it in a condensed format. Getting megawatt plus out of every 20-foot container, which is really impressive. So we've had fun deploying it. We definitely recommend use a very professional team when deploying this product. It's a great product to work with, on the operational side, just for that stability we've been talking about. Yeah, wanted to thank the Bitmain team. We had your full technical staff out here yesterday going through this, and we've had some input and some feedback on a few of the processes and the manuals and that kind of thing. But we appreciate you always being there to clarify the questions that we have technically. So we've been able to resolve that. Any questions that we have. Todd, do you want to just kind of talk about anything we didn't cover with this in our deployment? Kind of what we've learned as a team going forward.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to also just comment in general. The first time I saw liquid cooled high performance computers was in the 80s. This is it's an established technology. It's a new application in applying it to ASICs, but for the highest performance, that's liquid cooling has been the way to access the highest performance for many years now. And the same, the cooling tower technology is applied to many industries. It's very well established. So I think there may be some concern or just the unfamiliarity with the operators in this industry, but it's well-established technology. No one should be concerned about the long-term performance. It will be much more stable. You can provide better environmental conditions for the miners, and so I'm confident that they will have very high reliability for a lot longer lifetime than the competitive technologies with air. Really, the system was well designed to control the conditions for the miners, like we've already alluded to. The hash rate has been able to stay stable through the whole range of temperature in the area where we operate. The temperatures are quite, or the variation is quite large. We haven't experienced winter yet, but we've operated in a 40-degree, upper 40s up through, like he mentioned, 104 degrees. Hash rate has been rock solid the whole time. So I think this is a technology that it's going to move the entire industry forward.
Thank you for sharing, Merkle team.